The Hollywood elites are losing their minds as more evidence comes to the public about the Maui wildfires being just a setup. Among these elites, many big names have been exposed so far, along with the world-famous superstar, Oprah. But there's a new name that has just come to light, and people are losing their minds about it because no one saw it coming, nor did anyone suspect it. As you could have guessed from the title of the video, The Rock is getting exposed for his role in the Maui wildfires. It turns out that he was in it with Oprah and a bunch of other people, and all of them had one plan and one goal. And let us tell you, this goal was not good. It turns out that all these Hollywood elites just wanted to steal the land from the natives because of how expensive the property is. Now, although all of this is just a theory made by fans, the evidence people have to back all of this up is very convincing. Welcome back to the Celebrity Hyped, and today we are going to be talking about how The Rock is panicking right now after new evidence about his involvement in the Maui fires was revealed, along with the involvement of Oprah. But before we tell you all the juicy details on that, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And if you're new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button for more videos like this one in the future.
You see entire families who've lost every single thing they have, and they're living on the air mattress and a cot and a chair.
Now people already suspected that there was something wrong with this whole thing. And we are not talking about just the people on the internet. We are talking about the people who literally live in Maui and the people that were affected the most by the fires. Even they said that something about this whole thing seemed to be way too planned to be a natural disaster. But these claims aren't coming out of thin air. They have evidence to back up their stories too. According to the authorities, the fires were caused by winds carried by Hurricane Dora combined with the drought conditions on the island. Now that sounds like it makes sense, but not according to some of the residents of Maui. Now they all knew about the fact that natural disasters like wildfires have always been a risk on the island, but this time it was just way too random. And if you don't believe us and think this might all just be gossip, let us tell you another thing. You know that alarm that goes off before a disaster that tells people to seek shelter? Well, that alarm in this case was put out much later than it should have been. So that also made people wonder if all of this was intentional or not. There are a lot of weird things about the Maui fires, and we are going to talk about all of them. But first, let us tell you about who might be behind all of this. People think it is none other than the Hollywood elites who planned this whole thing. But this time, they weren't alone. They did it with some big names in real estate. But you might be wondering how all of that might be connected and why they would do that. Well, they have a good enough motivation, and let us tell you all about that. You see, there are only a few neighborhoods that were affected the most during the fires. Surprisingly, these were the neighborhoods where real estate was the most expensive, like in Lahaina. So as it turns out, according to theories, these Hollywood elites set fire to such neighborhoods just so they could purchase properties here at lower prices. But you might be wondering, these people have all the money in the world. Why would they burn an island for a discount? Well, you see, the people of Lahaina were never willing to sell their land. The elites, along with real estate investors, had tried time after time to try and buy the land from these native people, but the people wanted to keep their land to themselves. And as we all know, when these powerful Hollywood elites want something, they know how to get it.
Lahaina Front Street is worth billions. The Hawaiians that have been holding out and the Kanaka have been holding out for years, not wanting to sell their property.
But that isn't even the most messed up part of this whole thing. Before we tell you about that, make sure to share this video with a friend who might enjoy our content, and give this video a big thumbs up while you're at it too. Now you know how a lot of these big celebrities have been trying to look like they're really trying to help the people that were affected by the wildfires, right? Well, think about the two people who have been talking about it the most. Yes, you guessed it right. It is Oprah and The Rock Johnson.
We have created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now.
Now, at first, fans thought that they might really just be trying to help the people in need, but then something about the whole thing started to look really suspicious. One of these things was the fact none of the properties that belonged to these famous people were harmed in the wildfires. If that wasn't weird enough, a lot of people thought that Oprah was just there for the sake of the pictures and the publicity. We mean, it's not us saying this. This is just the world on the street, but look at her larger-than-life hat and her tall boots, and it really looks like she's dressed for a magazine cover. A lot of people think that the only reason Oprah is doing all that she is so that people don't get suspicious of her involvement in the wildfires. Oprah already owns 2 properties in Maui, and according to some sources, she was willing to buy her 3rd property in Lahaina, but no one was willing to sell to her. And we all know how all the people on the internet already think that she's one of the Hollywood elites, so it really wasn't that difficult to connect the dots and make it all make sense.
And there goes the house I lived in for a month.
But then The Rock came into the picture and the whole thing became much bigger. You see, The Rock started talking about how he's trying to help all the affected families as well and posting a little too much about it all. This made fans suspicious of him as well, and they started to dig in deeper. But the fans didn't have to do any more digging because The Rock exposed himself and his involvement in the whole evil plan when he posted a video with Oprah. Now, this wasn't just any regular video, it was a video of them standing next to each other and talking about how much the families of Maui need their help. Which is all good. If they are willing to support people in need, we think that is a good thing. But here's the catch: despite being some of the richest people on the planet, they were asking us regular people to donate money so that they could help the affected families.
We have created the People's Fund of Maui. So if you send a donation, just click where you see below and send a donation.
Apparently, they set up a fund where people could donate directly to people of Maui. Now people are really mad about all of it, and we don't even have to explain why. It is pretty obvious. So not only did they set fire to a whole island just to buy a bunch of expensive property, but they also had the audacity to ask common people to pitch in for the money to rebuild it while they sat in their multi-million-dollar mansions.
Please don't tell me I just saw a billionaire standing next to a multi-millionaire begging the average everyday citizen for donations that can barely get by.
Do you think The Rock is involved in all of this madness? Who else do you think might get exposed in this case next? Do you think it would be a big actor? Let us know all your thoughts and predictions in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and smash that subscribe button for more videos like this in the future. And with all of that said, as always, we will see you in our next video with new updates about your favorite celebrities.